Okay, so we are gonna, it's 4.8% by the way. Okay, so we are gonna talk about, I'm gonna do a thing about it theory, but just as a little teaser, and also because there's one thing I forgot to put on my to-do list is MapIT, bro. And that and Manalaris are probably the two next steps. Um, and so I think we're going to be recording a lot today. And so we're gonna look at gonna break down all these things in the to-do list. The a text that a one-page text that sort of, if you read it and believe it, you will achieve self-awareness. And then a test on that for Sassy, and we'll do that with street interviews and stuff. Number two, we have to talk about brainstorm about diet. No, we don't have to. That's totally in the future. Okay. Um, so put a little X by that. Manalaris. I don't even know how to make a to-do list for that yet because we got to brainstorm about that. Uh, learn fallacies. That's on the actual to-do list, not the to-do list. And let's put finish to-do list. I mean, like create to-do list. So that's on our actual to-do list to create a to-do list. So our to-do list, and then MapIT. Okay, all right. So MapIT real quick. Okay, so this is the symbol for an it. Okay, and it is if then. Okay, lots of different ways that we can phrase that. Um, these are the symbols in Yodrado for if then. Yeah, bet, give, no, tav. Okay, so they're the actual words: bet, tav. Condition, consequent. Oh, I'm explaining the it now, sort of. Okay, condition, consequent, input, output, stimulus, behavior, or statement. Okay, it's all the same. Okay, in, out. All right, or you can rephrase that as perception, response. Okay. So this is on a more macro scale. This is a very macro scale, right? Talking about the input for the whole brain, or the bottom processing, and then the top. Okay, the word is exlivery, and the vocabulary word is exlivery. All right, so hopefully you had time to write that down. Okay, in livery, exlivery. Okay. You know what? Perception wasn't really here. Perception was like, because this is like, perception is like, it's kind of actually the then of the stimulus. But it's the if for the rest of the processing in the mind. All right. All right, good. In livery, ex livery. What was I saying? All right. So, all right. Now the thing is, you have lots of its. You could think of sort of. You could think of the whole mind as a single it on a certain scale. Someone finds themselves in a situation, and we assume that it's only the events of that situation that are significant to what they end up doing, which is kind of a silly thing to say because there's a lot of always going to be background stuff involved, but from their previous processing of things and other information they have and so on. But if you take just the input of that situation and then how they respond in that situation, you can say, oh, that it. But that it probably doesn't exist biologically. It's a set of. I mean, it does exist biologically, but you can't be. It's not like okay. I mean, it does. It just can't be defined as. Let's explain what I mean. Let's explain what I mean. So if then, okay, that's important. Okay. All right. Now let's take a look at Let's do a MapIT. It's going to be all placeholders just to give you an idea. Okay. Um, so these are let's say, the limits of the system. Um, this is, all right. So this is the sit stem here. Okay, this is the sit stem, and this is the the exterior world. Okay. All right. So sound waves, visual input, whatever. And then out here we get, an action, a statement, an emotion, um, and of course it's going to loop, right? You do this action, you're going to see yourself do the action, and it's going to be input. So same thing for an emotion. I don't know. It's hard to. It's kind of does feel silly to put emotion outside of the sit stem. How about we could like. It's just gonna have to be in both because all this processing can leave you with a feeling, anxiety, fear, whatever, happiness, whatever. So, but then of course your feeling is on this side as well, and because we've got this is the direction, right? Input, if, it, then. Okay, input, sit stem, output. Okay. All right. Um, and you know what? I'm feeling kind of tired and stuff, but I just did feel a little burst of sort of happiness or hope or something because the fact that we're even having this conversation is so cool because, you know, before 3 years ago, I mean, I can't have this conversation with real humans, maybe out in the world, but 3 years ago, I still thought we were like a single mind. I thought there was maybe a single controlling self and stuff or something. Not controlling self, but a blah blah. But now to know that, all right, so let's show what this looks like. Let's see if this make any sense at all. All right, so because we're getting into new territory. I haven't really drawn a MapIT yet. Okay, so still a little example. Just so we have something to look at. Um, Okay, so imagine this is a sit stem. One way that we can think of it is, yeah, that's kind of, well, yeah, that's okay. So you have your things that trigger your ifs, and then the results of your thens. Good. Right. So remember when we had the thing before? Just make it go like a boop. So here's everything I had written on the left side of the table can go here. Everything I had written on the right side can go here. Okay. So this is uh, bet, and we'll say, yeah. Okay, we'll say, I don't know. Fuck it. All right. Okay. So you've got an input. Let's say light, some photons that are, I don't really know what wavelength really is, but that have a certain wavelength. Let's say 450, 430. Hey Siri, what wavelength is red?
Wavelengths of red are the longest, ranging from about 630 to 760 nanometers. This is from Britannica.com.
So then it's purple is on the other. What wavelength is purple?
Blue and purple light have short waves, around 400 nm.
Okay. Well, purple's my.
This is from euchre.edu.
Thank you. I believe you. Purple's my favorite color, and I also want to do the lower end anyway, so that's what we're gonna do. So you've got some input of some we'll do blue. Not my favorite color, but do blue. Oh, that's good for the top. All right. So we've got some blue here. Okay. And then what do you want for the? Oh, I do have purple. Okay. And I hope I remember this because I always think of infrared as being what actually ultraviolet is, because it's like lower, but no. And don't now I mustn't. Why did I repeat that? Okay. The shorter, it's the more, so ultraviolet. Okay. We're just going to check that. Hey Siri, what wavelength is ultraviolet?
Ultraviolet radiation has wavelengths of about 400 nanometers nm on the visible light side and about 10 nm on the X-ray side. This is from Britannica.com.
Okay, so I really revealed that I know quite little about all this because I think even my question revealed something I was understanding. And then what do you guys want to do? Let's do orange. And then orange is this side. That might be good. Okay. So, and what we can do is do a little sit stem. All right. So, some 400 nanometer, some 420 or something nanometer wavelengths hit the sit stem. I mean, it hits the eyes, but whatever. It hits the sit stem, and there is an it in there that it does nothing except respond to 420 nanometer wavelength photons. Okay. Boom. So that gets slapped because that's it purple. Okay. So that gets boom. That's activated. What did the underline mean? What did I think I could? Underline activated it. Yeah, okay. So if it gets slapped, boom. Um, so what I'm doing is I want to kind of show you sort of where I'm at with what I think is one of the more important things to be working on this year. And then the other thing is, yeah, this is going to help me figure out. Oh, and it's also this is going to help to understand what an it is. I think. So just imagine there are these things. All right. So I have to draw more. Okay. So um, so basically, this dude, his only job is if he sees 420, not 410, not 430. Okay. This dude is 400, let's say. He doesn't get slapped because this was 420, let's say. Okay. Um, so the if then rule here is if 420. All right. So let's. All right. Keep forgetting the fucking symbols. Okay. If 420, then damn it, wrote in the wrong place. If 400, and then here it's if 420, then purple. Okay, what if we do it, imagine it like this? So this is called it P400. That wouldn't be able to be its absolute name because we wouldn't know what the P stands for in general, but here we do. It stands for purple. And this is it P400, this is it P420. Or maybe it'd be better to say it 420P, it 400P. Okay. Both of these produce an output of purple. I mean, the word purple, this association of purple, let's say. Okay? Now, so this dude goes ahead and so I think that my lines like that, it's a perpendicular line. Um, it looks like a T, it looks like a plus, it's leading to this, slapping this guy. And this one is called, oh, this is fine. Okay. This one's called P good. Okay, that's the Odrado for good. It's a gamma symbol with a acute accent. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. So we've got our purple, which came in. That's not going to be clear because my other symbol is an X. This is supposed to be that one. Whatever. So we have purple. It slaps. No, sorry, we don't. 420. Okay, so we have 420p gets slapped, which slaps if purple, then good. Okay, it's my favorite color. So if someone's wearing purple, it's very possible that in this sit stem, they've already won some points. If we add in here, if subject 420, in this case, the subject is the photons, then the subject is purple. Um, Whatever, we're gonna keep that there. So then this one's called purple good. Okay. Um, then we could go like, so if the subject is good, then beautiful. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So, okay, that's interesting. Are we recording? Okay. All right. Okay, so we need another marker to show what's kind of going on here. So we have two streams here. You can say we have two its. We have one that starts at 420 nanometers. Okay, so okay, so we've got two its. Okay, and then we're gonna look at the what's called the parits. which are the component its. But so we've got two soup its, two its from inside to outside here. A soup it doesn't have to be that, but it's just that when you talk about different its or different hierarchies, whichever is the higher hierarchy is called the soup it, and whichever is part of it is called the par it. All right, so we've got two susits here, two streams. One is um, if for 20, um, then let's put kind here. Oh, it's supposed to be orange. Oh no, right. Okay, if for 20, then kind. And then we've got another one. If, oh, okay, it's not a good idea. Do red. If face tat, then uh, actually we've only got one that X livers here because this one ends up not X livering. But we can assume based on the its that I've drawn here that it would have ended up maybe saying the person is mean. Okay. So we have here if purple or something in the purple class, then we end up saying that the person is kind. Now that's what I mean by you can't say that like that always happens. It's never gonna just you can never really say like ugh. It's always just about if it like brought it over the edge. Anyway, anyway, okay. Um, like this is something that was demonstrated by the sit stem. All right. Okay. So this 420 came in, and there was a dude in there. If 420, then purple. Okay. So then he slaps. If purple, then good. Okay. So then we need to see, is there any it that's like, oh, if something is good, then, oh yeah, here we go. If good, then beautiful. All right. If beautiful. So is there any if beautifuls here? Yeah, because the delivery of this it here, the delivery of this it is the second piece. This is the beautiful. X livery when we're talking about the whole sit stem, but delivery when it's just from a single it inside of the sit stem, an intra livery. So the outgoing intra livery is called a delivery, and the incoming intra livery is not called the in livery, but it's called the N livery. Okay. So if good, then beautiful. And then of course this one we know is the we can call the halo effect. Call this the halo here. In fact, let's not name it if maybe we should have left that. But anyway, halo, and if you know what the halo is, we know that it takes beauty as an input and is going to send out validation of other things unrelated to beauty. So in this case, let's say it's moral. Takes beauty as an input, sends out moral. That's, the halo effect, it's a bunch of its. You can say that there's like a department of its here, and one of them is specifically, if beautiful, then moral. So yeah, let's leave that as if beautiful, then moral. So beaut, moral. Okay. Um, and then I guess the last one would be it would be the sense of the language area, and that would be moral, kind. Um, and then there you go. You've got kind. So okay, so that's one stream. The other stream. So this dude with the purple shirt, beautiful purple shirt. I mean, not, I mean, the color is beautiful. He's got a face tattoo. Let's say it's not a teardrop. Let's say it's what I'm gonna have. A little question mark. Okay. So we've got whatever it takes to, something here to be like this is a face tat. Okay. So anyway, it gets labeled as a face tat. Okay. I mean, there's a whole bunch of it's in here that happen here. Um, you know, there it's like a if it, if it looks like a mole, then it's a mole. So if it's like round and has these other features, then it's a mole. And if it's a mole, then it's not a face tat. Meanwhile, there's another it that's going, if there's something on the face other than the eyes, nose, and mouth, then that's a face tat. But then that got hit by the other thing. It got pied opt by the other thing. Okay. In any case, anyway, so if that image, then face tat. Okay, so we got the face tat established. If face tat, then different. And we can call this one social proof. So this one is a social proof it. And this one is a halo. Okay, so then if different, no, sorry. Yeah, that's kind of a part of the social proof. But this is also social proof. If different, then bad. That's also part of the social proof mallet. So like this pair here. It actually branched off because this is my sit stem. Although I was raised to see face tattoos that way, um, I'm so outside of the norm, and so comfortable outside now that I see someone who's maybe similar to me. So in some form or another, there is an it that exists. Like if face tat, then okay. So we see we've got a divergence here. This, of course, is not social proof, or we could call that looking for community or something. And there's yeah, there could be another it. If different, then different is good. So in fact, then different. Social proof it says if different, then bad. This one says if different, then good. I don't remember what I was saying. Okay, anyway, so we got this divergence here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Now you can't really see this, but they have different effects now. Okay, I see. Let's draw it differently. Let's draw it differently. Oh, okay, I see. This is better. Okay. We have to have then different. This one also should be drawn some more. We can also simplify that one, but whatever. This is not about actually doing map bits or figuring them out. It's about figuring out how we're going to figure them out. Um, so what we can do is we can draw this as an X here. No, 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 no. This is a yes, and this is an X. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we have if different than bad, which is certainly not going to slap this. And I don't know how it works. Maybe it'll even have an inhibitory effect. I don't know. This is the kind of stuff that I don't know if the research exists quite yet. If it does, let me know what it is. Send me some papes. But just help me out anyway. Um, and I think you might just need a scan to know whether it's just the absence of an excitatory signal or whether an inhibitory signal. Yeah, I don't know what the actual arrangement is. We're just speculating here. Okay. All MapITs are really just speculating. Now, what we've got here is a perception thing, really. Um, Now, if we looked at well, we've got some cool fallacies in our perception. That's pretty cool. Or biases. So those are mallets. Oh, I don't want to make mallets purple. Okay, so now, if different than bad is maybe going to inhibit that, but if different than good, that is going to activate this. So that's getting activated. Um, okay, and then of course that's still getting activated, and then that's still getting activated. So I don't know what the weights are here, but if we assume that these are equally weighted in the system, then actually, turns out, not what I expected, because I know that there are some its in my mind that are like, oh, if you smoke, if you drink, well, not drink, but if you smoke, if you have tats, eh. So, so I know there are some in there, but based on this map and assuming equal weights, assuming no other its involved, um, those are the parts of there's two Susits that I have. Not Susits, sorry, Supits. Okay. Okay. And then so we had for this one we identified 5 parrots for that blue supit. And here 7 parrots. But we still ended up getting to kind with the face tat. This is what we're speculating could happen in a system, and we're kind of using mine. So, while we're here, what are the next steps for developing the sit stem? We see that a lot of the vocabulary that we have for it theory, it's good stuff, and that comes into use when you're looking at a MapIT. What is our takeaway as far as what we do next about this? I guess honestly, it would just be we just need to practice doing things like this. Actually, just take super super simple things and practice imagining the parrots. Just take something really just it can be anything. So can we let's come up with some examples now. So to do MapITs, um, prompts. Okay, one. Um, a person person's dog dies. Easy. 2, someone drinks after a breakup. You can imagine a sequence there. And we don't have to put what the actual ex-livery is. No, we should. A person dies, and the person joins the army. I mean, a person's dog dies, person joins the army. Someone drinks after a breakup, uh, ends up uh, no, let's keep it simple. Ends up calling X. 3, um, person is cold. Um, just puts on a jacket. Isn't that too easy though? It's gotta be something a little. It's gotta be something a little weird, right? Like, person is cold. Uh, makes an unfunny joke. It's kind of interesting. We'll look at those 3 later. Okay. Now, what the fuck are we talking about? What's in it? All this stuff makes sense to you. That may have sounded sarcastic. It wasn't. But then I thought, well, now that I look at it, why would it? But I think we looked at it together. This is a brain, whole bunch of mechanisms. Each one has a specific condition that'll trigger it, and it does a specific thing. It goes and slaps some specific things. Um, yeah. And then, of course, if we had introduced nuance, like how kind do you think the person is, for instance? Because I am surprised that I would associate this, but it does make sense if through this soup it. Of course, there are other its that are competing. We only drew 2 streams, and the brain's a pretty amazing thing. So there are lots of streams, and so both of these end up ex-livering as kind. But if you had asked me how kind, though, and then you send in the question, how kind? I wouldn't have kept a record of all of this. Um, so basically, it's just going to restart the process. There's an it in here, like, if you have to evaluate kindness, then look at, their beauty, consult your other sort of just judgments on them. We don't keep a record of maybe the events, but we do keep a record of certain sort of judgments, certain deliveries. Anyway, if you ask me how, no way that the dude with a purple is being seen as equally as kind as the dude with the face tat. No way. Not in this system, anyway. Which is unfortunate, but anyway, that's the way it is. So they wouldn't actually ex-liver exactly the same thing. That's the point. And I don't think it's going to depend much on. And see, here's the interesting thing. I don't think it's going to depend much on what the actual thing is, because look how far down it was. Like the actual what the thing was just got immediately established as a face tat. And then what did we have, like 6 or 5 other things that were slapped from that? And remember that the brain is what we call dominodal processing. Dominodal processing. So you can imagine these as dominoes. It falls over, hits the next one, and so on, whichever one it's angled to hit. So it's like dominoes and dominodo, because you have these nodes like this here, or I guess technically everything's a node, but the interesting node it here is like this one. At this node, the specific information from the beginning of the dominoes that doesn't exist here. All we have is good. Okay, before I had if bad then ugly, remember? So if we imagine this is not inhibiting that, but it's actually slapping, instead of pulsing that, it actually slaps if bad then ugly. Then we wouldn't see them. Or yeah. Anyway, oh no, we would because this one is still slapping this. All right. Anyway, so if bad then ugly. What was my point about that? If bad then ugly. Oh right, we didn't see the brain has to be it's built to be energy efficient. Bad is enough information for this guy. This guy doesn't need to know exactly what the tat was. And because we're not integrated, we tend to assume that if we know what the tat is because this it is able to connect to the or whatever previous it whatever observation it's they're able to connect with the language system and be like, oh, it's a question mark, right? But that stream is not this stream. That stream is like if there's an object, identify the object and then the word associated with it. Okay. But though that whole stream, maybe it doesn't actually affect this stream, which is why it doesn't matter what kind of a tattoo it is. Because there's a dude in there that's just like, look, if there's a face tat, then different. Now, if you did a refute to mute, if you wanted to mute this, because you know where it ends up. I mean, assuming, forget this, and just looking at this and the ugly thing. Since you know where it ends up, you might want to refute this. So you need to get these two dudes to talk to each other. This dude is, let's say, I don't know, object recognition, object recog, and then like uh object like I don't know. If it's a fucking I don't know, question mark. Question mark is good. So see this third stream could be like this. Like boom, boom. Um and then uh but maybe because again because we're not integrated, not every single evaluation that happens anywhere in the mind that yields good that delivers good is actually going to be an end livery for this. So this guy might not even talk to this dude. So then we just have some other it speaking the word. Oh, it's a question mark. So so part of changing your mind about something, you want to announce to pounce, you refute to mute by running this extra hard, by refuting. Um, or I don't know, maybe there's a face tat bad. Oh no, yeah. So the supit here, composed of these two parts, is if face tat then bad. Okay. If you want to refute to mute that, then you have to run this extra hard and out loud or on paper or something. And eventually, by habiting this, you're gonna forge a connection to that, and that's gonna pi that. Uh-huh. Very good. All right. That's enough. That's enough for that. That's very good. Okay, so we know what to do next. Well, we don't know what to do next. Um, the symbols aren't perfect. I mean, it's not doesn't I don't know. This is definitely the symbol for it, but all the other stuff I don't know. Yeah, no, we can't figure out what the next steps are for the MapIT until we practice it and let the next steps sort of reveal themselves to us. Okay, can we take another break? And then in the context of all of this, I am and also with in mind the other to-do list we have to make. I'm going to explain to you what the fucking it is.